Okay? So we know that the Messenger of Allah then said, free her because she's a believer. Let her go. Let her go. She's a believer. He affirmed the iman for this woman. And what did she believe? That Allah was above the heaven. Now if the Messenger of Allah has come to guide the people, لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ, he is our guide. Yeah? He is our example. He would have clarified this mistake of this woman and he would not have let her go on her way believing in mistaken belief. So he corrected her. Now this is a clear example that Allah indwells within all things. This is a heretical belief that came after, that all of the Salaf were opposed to. Okay? On the whole, okay? That's one example there. This man cannot be a guide to the Sunnah if he himself is not upon the Sunnah.
He is upon the Sunnah.
I'll give you an example with regards to the belief in Allah. When we say the Sunnah,
I am not him.
I know.
You just have to meet him and you see how he's upon the Sunnah.
I've given you one example here clearly.
And I, مثلا, I don't have the literature.
Listen, I don't need to. I don't want a response from you there right now, and we're gonna debate, and you're representing him, and I'm gonna attack you. I just want to show you that this is a clear example. The tool that we mentioned in the beginning, that if we differ in anything, refer it back to Allah and His Messenger. If we really believe in Allah on the last day, and that this understanding of the Quran and the Sunnah must be upon the understanding of the early Muslims, primarily the Sahaba, the early pious Muslims. Yeah.
You have to have a proof, dalil.
Now you have the tools already.
Right.
I don't. That's it. We agreed on the beginning that the way, the tools that we have when we look into the correct belief is this. We go back to the Sahaba and those who follow them in righteousness, in the Salaf. Okay. That's a tool. The Nasara don't have this. The Yahud don't have this. Why? Because they don't have the original belief of Musa and his companions, or the original belief of Isa and his companions. Okay, what they have is later additions.
Yeah.
So Allah has protected this religion not just in its text, not just the text. He's also protected the explanation, i.e. the Sunnah, and the understanding of the Sahaba. Now we have the tools here, so I don't need you to pull out the belief right now. But I'm saying this is a clear thing. When you go back and check that the belief that is mentioned by the early Muslims was that Allah is above the heavens, separate from His creation, distinct from His creation, and that we weigh up this on the Quran and Sunnah, this belief that Naqshbandiyah come with. When we weigh up this belief, we see
that's what I was answering to. I am responding, but to the extent of my knowledge. I cannot speak for Naqshbandiyah.
This is a known position among Naqshbandiyah. You're not the first Naqshbandiyah I've spoken to, and this is a widely held common belief that Allah is everywhere, according to the Naqshbandiyah. Okay, so it's not that you haven't studied your Naqshbandi creed properly. I'm saying in this aspect you know it straight away. You know it. You might not know the book number, page reference, and everything, but this is something that's not hidden from Naqshbandiyah. That Allah, according to them, is everywhere. Whereas the Salaf, the early Muslims that the Messenger of Allah said are the best of generations, their understanding of where Allah is completely different. So now, this is one indication now that a person is not a guide in this aspect. Okay, what is his position towards the people that do hold this belief? What is the position towards the people of Sunnah that actually do uphold the belief of the early Muslims? What do they call us? Wahhabis and so on and so on and so forth. So not only are they mistaken, but they're persistent in their mistakes, and they fight those who are upon the correct way. So now this is an indication that it's not just the error that he fell short in. Some imams, some scholars, they may have been in a region such as Andalus, far from interaction with any of the other Muslims, and the prominent position was this, such as many various ulama, and we make an excuse for them. They were never explained the issue. Yes, you're right. So the issue wasn't explained to them, and it wasn't clarified. Yeah. So the issue wasn't clarified to them.
Yeah.
They may have an excuse. Okay. Of course, we make dua for them. Why? Because what is their premise? Their premise is what we mentioned in the beginning, that we go back to the Salaf and the Sahaba. So when the likes of Imam Nawawi, Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani, when they fall into these errors, we say that this was the prevalent school of thought at the time. But we know in their usul, they were Salafi, i.e. they wanted to follow the aqeedah of the Salaf. So we make excuse for them. This is not like the one who is stubborn in disbelief and fights those who actually hold the Sunni position. This is completely different. So in order for somebody to be called a guide, like a Haqqani of the Naqshbandiyah, to be called a guide, we can just weigh up his creed with the way of the Salaf, and we can see that in this issue and many other issues, I've just given one topic, in this issue, then he falls short of the mizan. On the mizan, he actually falls short of the criteria that we have, which is the Quran and Sunnah, upon the understanding of the early Muslims.
Are you putting this on YouTube? Can I have a link? Yeah, and I'd rather not be on camera, but yeah, I'll just take the link because I want to have a record of that. It's very useful.
Yeah.
Thank you, CD.
Listen to it again when you go home.
And we can,
on YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can give you a beneficial website as well.
Right. Yeah.
I can give you a beneficial website as well. So if you go on salaf.com,
okay. Yeah, but I'd rather not get. Thank you.
So we're not. I'm not trying to bash you or anything like that. You understand that, yeah?
I'm exploring.
Yes. May Allah guide us to the truth.
Amen.
Yeah. Salaf.com,
Right.
and above-the-throne.com. Actually, if you go on salaf.com, everything will be on the right-hand side. You'll see a drop-down, you'll see a list of other websites that are relevant to these topics. Ash'aris.com is another one that is beneficial.
So you don't call yourself Salaf?
I would call myself Salafi.
Salafi.
I would, if needed, I would call myself Salafi. I would attribute myself to the creed of the early Muslims.
But people don't like see that in a very good light, the Salafi, no?
Yeah, I'm here to please Allah at the end of the day. So yeah, of course, people. If I call myself Sunni,
Yeah.
the Shia will take offense.
Really?
If I call myself Athari, someone's going to take offense. If I call myself Ahl al-Hadith, people will take offense.
Athari as in traditional?
Yeah, that's what Athari means. Meaning you follow the Athar. The Athar of the Sahaba, the Athar of the Tabi'in. Meaning you use their narrations to explain the Quran and Sunnah. Unlike those who use Ra'i, an opinion, and Qila wa Qal, and he said, she said, to explain the Quran and Sunnah. We stick to a transmission. We've been sufficed. We have been sufficed. We don't need to innovate anything.
Transmission as in?
As in Quran given to the Messenger of Allah via Jibreel alayhi salam, explained to the companions sticking firm to it, propagating this, spreading the religion far and wide. The belief of the people has accepted this. Then we find people that later on try to innovate. Then we have the students of the companions who take that from the companions and transmit it on. And then we find them compiling the books. Now these compilations of books, similar to how they compile the books of hadith, they could have just left the hadith, this one. So right now if I need to know the hadith of how to pray, I have to go get a hadith from this guy, What they've done, they've compiled it. But it's the same with the creed as well. They've compiled the creed. So when we say sunnah, what we're referring to is the sunnah as opposed to creed, i.e. not bid'ah. Sunnah, not bid'ah, in terms of creed. So we've been sufficed. We don't need to have a later interpretation. The original interpretation is sufficient for us. In terms of the affairs of the dunya, this is fine. We used to ride horses, now we drive cars. We used to shout, now we can use a microphone. These things are affairs of the dunya. As regards to the affairs of the deen, the Messenger of Allah has prohibited this. Okay? So this is the mizan, this is the criteria that we have. And this is the criteria of, this should be the criteria of any person that you call an imam. That he himself, for you to take knowledge from this person as a beneficial scholar, he himself must be upon the sunnah. And we are not fooled by outward appearances in smaller issues. He might know fiqh, but where's his aqidah, fiqh al-akbar, the greater fiqh, fiqh of the deen, fiqh of the sunnah, in terms of creed. So this is what we refer back to. And if you can go back to the books, if you mention one book as well, Assalamu alaikum. No, you're not going now. Okay, Allah Yasahil. Assalamu alaikum. So Usul al-Sunnah of Imam Ahmed bin Hanbal. Yeah. So also off the camera, take my email address as well, and we'll continue this discussion.
Yeah. But the video is going to be on the website?
No. I don't.
On YouTube.
They're different. I don't know. The channels are different. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'd love that. Yeah. Oh, you have a page or something? No.
They have a YouTube. They have YouTube channels.
YouTube channel?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. What's your email?
Can we be done with this? Yeah.
OSCC Dawah. But I only recorded how long? 6 minutes. I recorded 10 minutes. He's got more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Off record, if I can give my email address and stuff. Yeah. Okay.